Thanks. All right, is Mr. Clinton available? Are you Mr. Clinton?
Yes, sir.
All right, my name is Judge Porter. This is a detention hearing to determine if you should remain in custody or be released to a parent or guardian. You have the right to have this hearing recorded. You also have the right to have an attorney, and your attorney, Mr. Adler, do you see him on the screen?
Yes, sir.
All right. You have the right to remain silent and not say anything at all. If there's something you want to say, please do not blurt it out. Instead, I want you to wave your hand like this. That'll get my attention and your attorney's attention. I'll create a private internet chat room for the two of you to talk about what you want to say. And then he can advise you on whether or not you really should say it. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
All right. What brings Mr. Clinton to court today?
Good morning, Your Honor. Mr. Clinton was referred into our detention center on May the 5th for the offense of failure to ID, criminal trespass, and burglary of a building. According to the Arlington Police Department's report with regards to the burglary of a building, on April the 8th, 2020, Arlington PD was notified by the manager of the AMP on the Great Apartments that she had come into possession of a video of a burglary, which apparently occurred the day before on April the 7th at about 4:38 p.m. The manager stated that she received the video footage of the possible suspects who broke into the apartment floor model. The unknown suspects tried the front door, but were not successful, and kicked in the back door, causing damages to the frame. And then also, she also stated that there were several things that had been taken out of the apartment floor model. Officers reviewed the video. It was stamped April the 7th at 4:38. Officers did notice 7 black males walk to the front door, then walk off to the back. Officers immediately recognized one of the suspects as Mr. Jalen Clinton. They also identified 2 other suspects by the names of Jacka Livingston and Don Johnson. With regards to the criminal trespass and failure to ID offense, according to the police report, on April the 8th of 2020, Arlington PD was dispatched to a 7-Eleven regarding a criminal trespass violation. According to the complainant, reported that youth entered her store today or on that day, having been issued a criminal trespass warning on October the 2nd of 2019. She could not remember their names. However, officers reviewed surveillance and identified one of the subjects as Jalen Smith. Officers at VO located the original criminal trespass report, and it was dated for October the 2nd of 2019. According to the police report, Detective Rodriguez on April the 10th of 2020 received the report and apparently ran the vehicle license plates that the caller had provided on 10/2/2019. It was discovered that the vehicle belonged to Stormy Clinton, who resided at 2116 Buchanan in Arlington. Detectives went to the address and located several black male subjects who fit the description. They verbally identified themselves as Jalen Smith, Don Johnson, Jacka Livingston, Joshua Ballard, Jonathan Smith, and all admitted to having been at the 7-Eleven. After reading the report, detective recognized that Jalen had given a fictitious name to officers on 10/2. His true name was Jalen Clinton. Detective stated that he knew this from Mr. Jalen Clinton from previous investigations. Through his investigation, he was determined that Clinton committed the offense of criminal trespass after returning to the 7-Eleven After having been warned not to return, it was further found that on 10/2, Clinton committed the offense of failure to ID, giving politicians information to the officer. Your Honor, he is currently on probation with our department for unauthorized use of a vehicle. He was drug tested. It looks like when he came into our detention center, and he was negative for all substances.
And he's level 1-0 and has a parent or guardian here today?
His mother should be here today. I'm not there at the courtroom, so I don't know if she's there.
Mom,
Yes.
do you want Mr. Clinton to come home today?
Yes, sir.
And what kind of conditions are you going to place him under when he gets home? If he gets to go home?
Well, I'm currently not working, so of course I'm able to be there with him all day. He would stay with his same curfew. I want him to abide by the curfew. I want him to do as he is told to do without any attitudes. When I tell you to do something, that's what I want you to do. It don't have to be an attitude, just do it. And remain out of trouble. Nobody is allowed to my home besides the people that live there. Because right now I'm in a situation that I actually have to find a home. So no more company is allowed, period.
Mr. Clinton,
Sir?
you hear your mother's rules?
Yes, sir.
You gonna abide by those rules?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and so when one of your friends calls you on the phone and asks to come over, what are you gonna say?
No, sir.
And why is that?
Because my mama said no company.
Okay, but you understand, if you've been on probation, you've already been under rules, and you don't have a good track record of following rules, do you?
I do.
No, you don't. The evidence says otherwise. So what's different now that makes me think that you can follow the rules? Have you had suddenly a road to Damascus moment that you're suddenly going to follow your mom's rules and follow the court's rules? What has changed about you in the last 15 days that shows me something different than what your history suggests?
When I get out, I'm listening to my mama and abide by the rules.
That doesn't answer my question. My question is, what has changed within you in the last 2 weeks?
My attitude.
Mom, have you noticed any change in his attitude? Yeah, that's a no, isn't it?
I mean, I talk to him daily, but you know.
So you have not noticed a change in his attitude, have
I
you?
noticed a change, but you know how things could be when they're there. So I noticed a change. I know I love you, but like I want you to mean this because of this has happened. Now we have to find somewhere to stay. So you have not only affected just yourself, but you put us, my whole family, all of us and his other 3 siblings in a situation to now we have to look for a place to stay. And I'm not even working. So
Mr. Adler, what are your thoughts?
Judge, I kind of got mixed messages. So can I clarify some things with the mom?
Please.
Hey, ma'am. So you do want him to come home today, is that right?
yes, sir.
And I think what the judge is really trying to get at is, do you want him on the electronic monitor where he just can't go out at all? Is that what you would like to see happen?
Well, he was working. Hopefully he can do right and continue to working because he's gonna have to be responsible for his restitution fee.
Okay. And
I'm not paying it.
And you did tell the judge you're not working, so you would be at home to supervise him and to call Ms. Gonzalez if he doesn't abide by the terms of his release?
Yes, sir.
And you would do that?
I definitely will because I have no choice and I'm tired.
And one last thing, ma'am, just for clarification purposes. You said you have to move. So if he's released today, where would he be released to?
To my home where we at, but I'm currently looking for somewhere else. They giving me to the 30th, so
Okay.
I'm looking now.
Okay. No further questions, Judge. I'll pass the witness.
All right. Mr. Clinton, I told you last time that if you got to level 1-0, that I would consider it. I'm going to give you a chance, but the first time you give lip to your mom, first time you step out when you're not supposed to, you heard your mom say she's going to pick up the phone and call Miss Gonzalez, right?
Yes, sir.
What's going to happen if she picks up the phone and calls Miss Gonzalez?
I'm gonna come back here.
And what do you think I'm going to do next time?
Keep me.
You got it. So at this point, it's all in your hands. You can either follow the rules that your mom sets for you and you can stay with her, or you can follow the rules that I set for you and stay in detention. That's it. Those are your two options. Okay?
Yes, sir.
All right. I'm going to let you go home today, though, once your mom can come pick you up. All right? That's going to be the order of court. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
Judge Porter,
Yes,
he's not released on EM, correct?
he is released on the electronic monitor.
Okay, thank you for clarifying that. Thank
Yes,
you.
and I've already signed the order for that.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Who's judge? Oh, man, I can eat this one. All right.
Have a chance to look. All right. You're Dontrell, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We're going to do your hearing last. So if you will tell them to send in Mr. Harbo, okay?
All right. He said you're going to do my left. So, can you send in Mr. Harbaugh?
Thank you.
You will.
Okay. Where is Mike Berger? Oh, okay. Okay. Yay. And where is Miss Johnson?
She's just logging on now.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know if I sent her the link.
Okay.
Earlier, I think I might have missed it.
Mr. Harbo?
Yes, sir.
All right. We're waiting for your attorney to log in. Give her just a little bit.
Okay.
While we're waiting, I'll go ahead and tell you a couple of things. My name is Judge Porter. This is a detention hearing to determine if you should remain in custody or be released to a parent or guardian. You have the right to have this hearing recorded. You also have the right to remain silent and not say anything at all. If there is something you want to say, please do not blurt it out. Instead, I want you to wave your hand like this.
Okay.
That'll get my attention. That'll also get your attorney's attention. And I can create a special internet chat room just for you and your attorney to talk about what you want to say. That way she can advise you on whether or not you really should say it. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
All right. There's Miss Johnson. All right. Miss Blair, I know you're here. There you are. No, wait. Where did Miss Blair
I'm
go?
on Mr. Ligon's computer.
Okay. Like, all right. What brings Mr. Harbo to court today?
Your Honor, he's 15-year-old male who is charged with assault caused bodily injury, felony number by Fort Worth PD on May 19th.
Miss Blair, can you talk a lot louder for me?
Can you hear me?
Talk louder, please.
Okay. He's a 15-year-old male who is charged with assault caused bodily injury, family member. Per the report on May 19th, officers were dispatched to a domestic call. Call details stated that Tristan had run away and would not get in the vehicle with his mother. The mother had followed Tristan. Fort Worth PD officers found Tristan and his mother at 3900 block of North Tarrant Parkway. The officer had Tristan get into his mother's vehicle. They both left the scene without incident. About 20 minutes later, Fort Worth PD officers received a call stating that Tristan had run away again, but this time he punched his mother in the left arm. The mother advised the officer that when they returned home, Tristan punched her in the arm, which caused her pain, and told his mother that he was going to continue to hit her until the police took him to jail. While officers were speaking to the mother, Tristan returned home. To prevent further violence, Tristan was apprehended and transported to the juvenile detention center. And he has no prior history, Your Honor.
All right, and I see, does he have a parent or guardian here today?
Yes, his mother is here. And
All right, Mom, talk to me. Tell me what's going on.
Your Honor, Tristan is a habitual runaway. He has a hearing set in August for drug paraphernalia. Tristan's involved in gang activity, drug usage. You know, his goal is to be a drug dealer. All he wants to do, he wants to be in jail. He told me he would continue to hit on me until you put him in jail. He's not going to change, he said, you know, so it's just, it's continuing.
That hearing on drug paraphernalia, is that scheduled in this court or a different court?
It's scheduled in Hearst, Your Honor.
Okay. Ms. Blair, you said he has no prior referrals with the department?
correct, Your Honor.
Do we know whether or not he has been documented as a member of a gang?
I'm not aware, Your Honor.
Okay.
Your Honor.
Ms. Johnson, did you want to ask questions of Mom?
No, I just wanted to advise my client to remain silent. No history with JPD. He was found with no drugs on him, no drugs in his system. Per the report, he doesn't have a real reason, nothing showing that would cause any concern for the safety of the community. Clearly, he and his mother are not getting along. And I was curious whether there may be another place that he can reside at this point, other than detention, you know, like another family member.
Did you want to ask the mom that question?
I will. Mom?
Yes, ma'am.
Understand very clearly, I represent Tristan.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Is there another family member where he can live at this time?
No, ma'am. His father kicked him out due to.
Yes or no? Is there a family member?
No.
Are there any family friends?
No.
Thank you.
Your Honor.
Yes, ma'am.
I would like to add that Tristan does have a tattoo representing gang activity on his arm, and it says 817.
Okay. Do you want Mr. Harbaugh to come home today?
No, sir.
All right. Ms. Johnson, it looks like I'm out of options despite your best efforts.
I understand.
Mr. Harbaugh?
Yes, sir.
Because it is not safe to let you go home to your parent or guardian, because there's nobody else I can release you to, I have to order that you be detained, but we'll have another hearing in 2 weeks, okay?
Okay.
Between now and then, no, Ms. Johnson told you to keep quiet, so just listen to me. Between now and 2 weeks from now, I want you to get to level 1-0. You know what that means, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Ask the detention officers in the back what level 1-0 means. I want you to get there. I also want you to make an effort to try and repair this relationship with your mom, okay?
Sir.
All right, that's going to be the order of the court. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I don't have it, and I do need it. Good call. I didn't even think that far. Mr. Livingston.
Yeah.
All right. Skip Mr. Daniel. I know Mr. Daniel's here. I lost him. There he is. All right, Mr. Livingston. This is a detention hearing to determine if you should remain in custody or be released to a parent or guardian. My name is Judge Porter. You have the right to have this hearing recorded. If you want that, your attorney, Mr. Daniel, will let me know. You have the right to remain silent and not say anything. If there's something you want to say, please do not blurt it out. Instead, wave your hand like this. That'll get my attention. I'll create an internet chat room for you and Mr. Daniel to talk about what you want to say. That way he can advise you on whether or not you really should say it. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Is that a yes?
Yes.
Okay. All right. I know Mr. Howard's here. There he is. Mr. Howard, if you can unmute your screen.
Hey, how you doing, sir?
All right. If you can briefly remind us what brings Mr. Livingston back to court.
Yes, sir. On Tuesday, May the 5th, 2020, 14-year-old Jakai Livingston was referred into custody by the Arlington Police Department for the offense of burglary of a building. According to the police report, on 4/7/2020, Jakai and other juveniles entered the model apartment of an apartment complex and removed property without permission of the owner. Jakai was then later transported to tarrantcounty juvenile services.
And he's currently on probation?
Yes, Your Honor. He's currently on probation for charges of evading arrest, theft of $750 to $2,500, Your Honor, and resisting arrest. All misdemeanors by yourself, Your Honor, on February 11th.
And he's level 2A in the back?
Yes, he's level 2, currently level 2A in the back.
Does he have a parent or guardian here today?
Can you repeat that, Your Honor?
Does he have a parent or guardian here today?
No, Your Honor. I did talk with her today. She was currently in meetings from work, but she did say she was going to try. I did send her the link, but she said she would try to log in.
Okay. All right. Mr. Livingston,
Yes.
what did I tell you last time?
To be on level 1,
What are you?
a 2A.
What am I gonna do?
Detain me.
All right, that's gonna be the order of court. Thank you.
Judge,
Yes, sir.
I had one other case, but we disposed of it at 9:30 this morning.
All right, well, thank you so much.
Okay, so may I be excused?
Yes, sir. Have a great day.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Okay, we're back on track. Okay. Oh, gosh. Okay. Sir, help me pronounce your last name correctly.
Najuko.
Juco.
Yeah, Juco, yeah.
Juco. Okay. This is a detention hearing to determine if you should remain in custody or be released to a parent or guardian. My name is Judge Porter. You have the right to have this hearing recorded. If you want, your attorney, Ms. Johnson, will let me know. Do you see Ms. Johnson on the screen? She's waving her hand.
No, I can't see nothing.
Keep looking for her. She's there, waving her hand.
Hey, so can you move this thing? Little thing. I can't see. Move this little thing away. This one right up.
She's waving her hand.
She waving her hand. I don't see him. I don't see him.
Armin Johnson.
I don't see it. Oh, you talking about him?
See her?
Help him out by pointing to the picture on the screen.
Waving her hands back and forth. You know, she's not stopping moving. There's only two.
Hello?
On the Zoom.
In CPS custody.
Hi.
Oh yeah, there she go. There she go.
All right,
Okay.
all right.
All right.
You have the right to remain silent, sir, and not say anything at all. If there's something you want to say, please do not blurt it out. Instead, wave your hand like this. That'll get my attention as well as your attorney's attention. I'll create a private internet chat room to talk about what you want to say. That way she can advise you on whether or not you really should say it. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
Is that a yes?
Yes, sir.
All right. I need you to sit up, pull your chair closer to the computer for me. All right. Mr. Neva, what brings this young gentleman to court today?
Hi, Your Honor. He was brought in yesterday for EOC and theft of property below 30,000 by Arlington PD. According to the report yesterday, around 2200 hours, officers were called out to a motor vehicle theft in progress. The victim advised that he saw that he was pumping gas. He went inside the 7-Eleven, and when he went back out to his car, the car disappeared. Officers saw the car drive nearby. They chased the vehicle some short time and eventually stopped. Officers drew their weapons and ordered all the passengers out. The driver was identified as Jarvis Ramsey. Joseph Dia was the front passenger. Trent was in the back left, and Lailani was in the back right. Officers spoke with the driver, who is a missing person from Dallas, as well as Trent, who is also listed as missing from Dallas, and stated that they were trying to get to Houston. Ramsey further added that they were staying with a friend in Arlington and they missed their bus to Houston, and that's why they went to 7-Eleven, and the others convinced Ramsey to steal the vehicle. And we have Mr. Tony Walker here, who works at the shelter where Trent was supposed to be staying at. CPS was going to be present, but they had some issues joining in. But she told me the situation going on with Trent. She said if he's released today, he will be going back to the same placement. Today is the last day of the hold on his bed. So if he's detained, he will lose that spot. And they said they are okay if he's released on the monitor. But they also added that he was AWOL for approximately 2 weeks. I spoke with mom as well earlier this morning. She said she didn't know if she was going to join the Zoom meeting. I sent her the link code, but she wanted to know what the outcome was. I spoke with Trent, and he told me that the reason he's in CPS custody is because per him, there was some unstable living situation. And he has no history with our department.
What is his home county?
Dallas County.
Uh-huh.
Currently in CPS custody.
Ms. Johnson, help me out here.
Well, if he's already in CPS's custody, they probably already have a court order regarding him. If he's out of Dallas County, that's going to be their jurisdiction, their court. If he has no history here, I'm not sure what the DA might be considering. It doesn't seem like he was an active participant. He wasn't driving. He wasn't the one with the keys. He didn't do any of that. It would seem that Dallas County would probably be more equipped to deal with him, especially since they have him in a placement there. He's going to lose that bed, then he won't have any place to live.
It also sounds to me like he was running away to Harris County, Texas. So he really didn't care about that bed to begin with.
Well, that's just the allegation that one person said.
Your point is well made, counsel. Ms. Bell, what's his estate?
Based on what you just said, Your Honor, it does appear, again, it's just an allegation that he was running away to Houston. He's 16 years old, and based on what we've heard today, he's for 2 weeks. I have concerns that if he's run away from his shelter, that he will do so again. So I think he should be detained because we can definitely keep him placed here in detention and keep him safe from himself.
One other thing, Judge, I mean, he's in CPS's custody. If he's released back to CPS, it's their job to locate placement for him. And their detention is not considered one of their placements.
Yes, Mr. Njoku, do you need to talk to your attorney privately, or is there something you feel confident that will say it doesn't have to do with the underlying offense?
Remember, you have the right to remain silent.
You gonna remain silent for me?
Mhm.
Good call. There's somebody back in the parent room. Are you related?
Mr. Walker, you can go ahead and speak.
Yes, my name is Tony Walker. I'm a representative of Nothing Just Happens. That's the general residential operation that Trent was placed at. And so he was in our supervision at the time in which he ran.
All right, and y'all are the one that still y'all have a bed for him?
Yes, sir, we do.
Was he previously staying at your facility?
He's been out at our facility, placed at our facility in January of this year. And so he's been staying there since then.
And so he's been missing from your facility for about 2 weeks?
Yeah, I'm sorry, I misunderstood your question. Yes, he's been at our facility consistently since January of 2020. There was one incident where he left the facility unauthorized for a few hours, but he was back. And on this particular time, he left the facility with another placement, and they were gone for approximately 2 weeks.
And
otherwise, he's at the facility.
Why is he trying to get to Houston?
I don't know. I don't know the answer to that.
Allegedly.
Well, at this point, the court's going to take that as fact, because the court needs to figure out whether or not he's going to abscond from the jurisdiction if I were to release him to go back to Mr. Walker's place.
I will point out, Judge, he's been there 6 months.
Mr. Walker, what city is your place located?
It's within the city limits of Dallas.
Okay. And was there a runaway report over in Dallas County?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Ms. Johnson, what's your recommendation to the court?
Judge, I believe he should be released back to Mr. Walker in the placement that CPS has made for him as they're his temporary managing conservator. Or for all I know, his permanent managing conservator.
All right. Ms. Johnson, your request is granted. I will release him to CPS. All right, that's going to be the order of the court. Thank y'all.
Judge, just to clarify, would Tony Walker be released to Tony Walker as he's not technically considered CPS?
Because CPS is the managing conservator, at least that's the information I have, it's my understanding that I need to release him to CPS or OCOK. And then if they want to designate a different representative, I'll leave that to their discretion. Is that correct, Ms. Johnson?
It is, Your Honor. They can designate Mr. Walker as their representative for transport.
All right. So does that explain things?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right. Thanks.
Thank you, Ms. Johnson.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Walker.
Thank you, Judge.
All right. Good. All right, Mr. Cummings.
Yes.
All right, we're waiting just a little bit. We're gonna see if your mom can get set up in the parents' room in the back. So give us just a little bit.
My mama here?
That's what we're checking on.
Judge, it was my understanding that his mom was going to appear via Zoom. I just received a text message.
Yes, Your Honor. I have been contacting mom via phone call, via email, gave her the Zoom link, as well as sent her a text message. She has not responded.
Okay. Ms. Johnson, Ms. Bell, what is your position on proceeding without the mom's presence, given that she received notice of this hearing?
Since the mother received notice, the state of it is of the opinion that we should proceed with the detention hearing.
Ms. Johnson?
My client asked about his mom's presence. I'm sure that he would like to have her input. It's my understanding that she was going to participate via Zoom. That's the only information that I have.
And somebody just joined our Zoom, Ryan's iPhone, and I don't know who that may be, but perhaps it is his mother.
All right, the person who just joined the meeting with the name Ryan's iPhone, can you please identify yourself? All right, the person who just joined this Zoom meeting, identify yourself. If you're Ryan's iPhone, please identify yourself. If you do not do so within 15 seconds, I will remove you from this hearing. And sometimes the trash takes itself out. All right.
Dontrell, do you know any other phone number or name your mom might call in under?
Just 682-218-2017.
Pardon? Thank you. Okay. All right, the court will call cause number 323-112057-19 in the matter of Dontrell Bernard Cummings. Are both sides ready to proceed?
State's ready, Your Honor.
Your Honor, obviously we have no argument regarding proceeding. The mother is not here.
All right. We're here for two reasons. It has been brought to the court's attention that the original placement that was ordered by this court is no longer available, but a different placement has become available for the respondent. However, it has also been brought to the court's attention that the placement that is now available, Lake Granbury Youth Center, is a more restrictive placement than the one originally ordered by this court, that being Star Albion Prep in Michigan. Because it is a more restrictive facility, I believe, the court believes that the respondent has a due process right to object or comment on the court's consideration of that alternative placement. So that being the status, I will first hear from Ms. Bell because it is ultimately the state's burden. And then I will invite Ms. Johnson to respond on behalf of the respondent. It's both her positions as attorney and differently as guardian ad litem. Ms. Bell.
Yes, Your Honor. During Dontrell Cummings' prior hearing, the court did find the factors necessary to remove Mr. Cummings from his home and be placed outside the home. While Star Albion was a less restrictive facility, Lake Granbury is going to provide those same opportunities for Mr. Cummings with sports and counseling and whatever needs that he has to be rehabilitated. There is also the added benefit that he would be in Granbury, which is closer than I believe Star Albion is in Michigan. And so since the court has already found that Mr. Cummings does need to be removed from his home, I believe that placement, it was not a consideration whether placement was less restrictive or more restrictive. It was just placement outside of his home. And Lake Granbury does meet the specifications under the code for a facility that meets the criteria of placement outside the home. And for that reason, the state believes that Mr. Cummings can be placed at Lake Granbury.
All right, Ms. Johnson, your thoughts.
Your Honor, I spoke with Dontrell on yesterday. I spoke to him again today. Obviously, he has some current concerns that is more restrictive. However, he wants to move on with what needs to happen so that he can leave detention and be able to become more productive and move on with his life, if I understand his we discussed that it's closer and his mom could have more involvement with him, and that he would not be so far away, and the fact that his prior placement might come available in 60 days, but they couldn't guarantee that either. So his choice would obviously be more inclined with moving on than waiting and seeing. And I see that his mom has appeared.
All right. Ms. Bay, it has been brought to the court's attention that while the court originally ordered that Dontrell be placed at Star Albion Prep in Michigan, a different placement has become open, one down in Lake Granbury, which would be much closer to your home. Would you be in agreement with the court ordering him to be placed with that facility instead of Michigan?
Yes.
All right. Anything else from either side?
Mom.
Nothing from the state.
Dontrell?
Mom.
Dontrell.
Yeah.
What?
Okay. All right. Then based on the evidence before the court and the agreement of the parties, the court on its own motion will modify its previous disposition and change the out-of-home placement from Star Albion Prep to Lake Granbury facility. Anything else from either side?
No.
Nothing from the state.
All right, that'll be the order of the court. Thank y'all. We're done for today.
Mama, where this?
Additionally, the court finds that the respondent should remain in detention based on the evidence before it. All right, thank y'all.
Wow, wait, what?
Bye-bye. He wanted to say hello. Okay, he did. Thank you.